Hello and welcome to another episode of Blue Alpine TV. In today's episode, we will do a bit something different. We'll look at different portfolios that you could build up to be ready for 2018 and the coming years. And we'll also jump quickly into news from South Korea. So if we jump into the market, we are down 10 to 15% again, so it doesn't want to stop. We gain a couple of percent and then lose a couple of percent, so it looks like we will hit a new all-time low. We have just cracked 8,100 with Bitcoin, and it is very likely that we'll hit another all-time low here. So it goes sideways and a bit down, so very likely that we will cross the 7,500 line this time. Generally the market very negative, so everybody is a bit scared and nobody really wants to invest anything, and it's still very red everywhere. However, we always say invest into the fundamentals, not the price action. And today we'll actually look into what this specifically means. But first, let's jump right into some news. And it's like I said in the last couple of days. So South Korean finance minister, blockchain can revolutionize the world. What does that exactly mean? So South Korea's finance minister has met with the governor of the People's Bank of China. And one of the topics that they've discussed was obviously blockchain, because both China and South Korea are huge markets when it comes to cryptocurrencies. Now, in the meeting, they spoke of a need for more cooperation with China on blockchain technology. No word of banning cryptocurrencies in any way. So they want to cooperate more. They want to build something together, maybe even get like a legal or governmental framework for companies to found in their companies faster in China or South Korea. So it will definitely stay interesting on what exactly that means. So there is also a direct quote: blockchain technology is an important technological breakthrough to fuel the fourth industrial revolution, and as such, the ministry will take a cautious approach in regulating the cryptocurrency market. For negative use cases of cryptocurrencies, the ministry will impose strict regulations. Now, again, with the side word or the side sentence. In negative cases, absolutely clear: money laundering, illegal activities, all of these things, South Korea will be very strict. However, when it comes to general cryptocurrencies and blockchains, South Korea is actually pro-blockchain and pro-cryptocurrencies. So it might not be Bitcoin who is supported by the government, and that doesn't really matter if they support the general ecosystem of cryptocurrencies. So I think this is very positive news. Hopefully this will fuel the market again a bit, but still the market is a bit in a strong downturn. So I don't think this will recover quite quickly. So it might take a couple of days, even maybe a couple of weeks, to get back to the all-time highs. Now, what exactly can you do in a situation like this? Obviously, one of the smarter things to do is invest long-term, but think short-term in terms of price action. So if you look at the prices and the prices are really low, but you believe in the coin because you've done the research either through our research papers or through something else, and you really believe in the coin, maybe the price action that you follow short-term is actually helping you to get a really great deal. So what can you do? For example, if you are currently, let's say, either very new to cryptocurrency or already have some cryptocurrencies, what you could do is design a perfect portfolio for yourself. So we have a couple of investment theses, and basically what we are trying to tell people is to have different types of portfolios. This depends partly on your knowledge level, or it also depends on your interest level. So we have created 3 portfolios. One is a platform focused portfolio, one is a B2B focused portfolio, and one is more of an all-rounder portfolio. Now, these are by no means investment advice, so talk to a professional finance expert before actually investing. But if you think about or if you believe that platforms will in the coming years become something real and important for cryptocurrencies or B2B businesses, then you should really think about building out these portfolios as we've suggested. Obviously, these numbers are subject to change. You can change them however you want. At the end of the day, talk to a professional and never invest more money than you can afford to lose. Now, one of the big investment thesis that we have is that platforms will become really important both in 2018 and in the coming years. Why? Because currently, if we look at CoinMarketCap, and I have it here in a sheet as well, if you look at all of these coins, a lot of these coins are actually based on either Bitcoin or Ethereum. That means that, for example, Ethereum is more like a platform coin. So it spawns out a lot of different coins and a lot of different projects because it is built in a way that you can actually fork or use the code and build on top of it. That means that the value of Ethereum will be, even if one of those smaller coins actually succeed, the value of Ethereum will always be high because Ethereum is the backbone of all of these things. Now, when we look at B2B portfolios, what is important here, when before the end of 1990s, when the internet was built, the first few big winners and big winner companies that made it really big were actually B2B focused. So it wasn't the consumer facing, it wasn't a company like Facebook or YouTube that in the beginning was winning in the internet race. No, it was more the Oracles and the Ciscos and all of these big companies and the IBMs that were really focused on supplying business to business solutions to the market. Now, you have on one side, you have the infrastructure. So this is, in our opinion, the platforms. And on the other side, you have the B2B. So the businesses that sell to other businesses that actually need the solutions that the blockchain has to offer. Now, then we have the all-rounder portfolio. In the all-rounder portfolio, this is kind of you don't really care too much, but you want to have a piece of all the pies. So you invest a bit broader and quite diversified. Now, if we look at the platform-focused portfolio, so one of the big chunks here is Ethereum. As I've said, one of the main coins that supplies all these subcoins and forks of Ethereum is the Ethereum platform. So we would, if we would do a portfolio like this, and we don't have a portfolio like this, but we're just saying based on the thesis that you could do, design a portfolio like this, we would go 35% with Ethereum, with the biggest position. On the second position, we would go with something like Stellar. Stellar Lumens has the potential and a very technical team to really build a platform for remittances and quick and instant payments. So this is also quite interesting. Now, Neo is a company, or a project rather, that is said to be the Chinese Ethereum. So it has also smart contracts. It has also built in the technology, or baked into the technology. It has ICO possibilities. A lot of ICOs are currently launching on Neo. So this is definitely also a strong contender. Then we have VeChain, which is more of gives the backbone for logistics and mainly logistics companies to actually, when they ship products, that to make sure that they are, for example, not tampered with or fraud proof in such a way. And VeChain is supplying that technology. Now, Icon is another very cool platform. We will talk a bit more in detail about Icon in the following episodes. 0x is a platform that is a lot of exchanges are actually built on top of 0x. And their main goal is actually to bring decentralized exchanges to the market. Now, decentralized exchanges might or might not be one of the biggest trends in 2018 and going forward, mainly because we're currently seeing a lot of exchanges getting hacked and a lot of issues with exchanges going down because the traffic load is just very, very high. So a decentralized exchange might offer a solution here, although it brings certain different problems such as security and scalability, etc. So here you can basically see the split of the portfolios in a pie chart, and that equals a total of 100. The Litecoin 5% is more of because we believe that Litecoin might be, together with Bitcoin, one of the faster currencies that you can use in this network. So this is more of a hedge that if you will need the currencies. Now the B2B focused portfolio looks a bit different. We still have Bitcoin as 5%, which serves the same purpose as Litecoin does here. So you use it more of a cash or a digital cash variant. And then you have Ethereum with 20%. You have Binance Coin. Now Binance Coin is the coin that the Binance exchange is issuing to its users. Currently, exchanges or cryptocurrency exchanges are some of the most profitable bringing, or at least revenue bringing companies there are, because everyone who wants to buy cryptocurrencies has to go through the exchanges. So the Binance Coin business model is really interesting, and we'll talk about this a bit more in the future. Then we have Civic. This is a bit of a random pick together with Modem as well. Civic is an identity platform, so it allows people to build into their apps or programs a kind of a self-serving identity mechanism. So if you have, for example, if you are a small bank, or you want to open a bank, or any kind of let's say peer-to-peer or any kind of sharing application where you really need to verify the identity of people, you would use something like Civic in order to verify the identities of these people. Now Modem and Walton as well as VeChain are actually all doing the same thing but focused on different industries. So VeChain has the strongest knowledge in the luxury segment, because the co-founder of VeChain has worked for quite a long time at Louis Vuitton. And then you have Modem, which is really focused on the pharmaceutical markets here in Switzerland. And as you may or may not know, in Basel, in Switzerland, one of the two biggest pharmaceutical companies, Novartis and Roche, are actually acting out of Basel. And one of the Modem, I think, founders and or advisors are quite, well, they work at Novartis, so they have good connections to the pharmaceutical branch. Walton is doing something very similar like VeChain, but they're focused on a different industry, and we will talk about Walton in the coming episodes as well. Now then, we have the all-rounder portfolio. In the all-rounder portfolio, you have kind of like a lot of cash reserve. So Bitcoin and Litecoin, considering this will be digital cash, we have a cash reserve of around 30%. We have Ethereum, Neo, and Stellar, as well as 0x for the potential platforms. And then we have Nano, which is they just rebranded from Rayblocks. This is also an interesting technology that's not using the blockchain. So we'll do a separate episode on them as well. And then you have Modem as a long shot. Now, in Modem's case, you can probably replace this with Walton, with VeChain, maybe even with Icon. But here it's more of a let's say, risky pick that if you want to really get some points from the industry and platform focused applications, cryptocurrency, sorry. Now, these all make up 100%. Obviously, you can play around with these if you want. What we will do in the future is, based on these investment theses, we will present you those portfolios. Obviously, these are always up to you to decide and invest. These are not our suggestions in any way. We just talk about this as a base that you could use. But as always, this is not investment advice, and please make sure that you talk to your financial advisor before investing into anything like this. In any case, we have written a lot of reports of these coins, and you can find them on bluealpineresearch.com, and we will probably create some different portfolios as well. So one of the interesting ones that's coming up is also security and privacy focused coins. and we'll probably do a separate portfolio on that. And with that, I will end today's episode. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you tomorrow.